I grew up in Seattle, born and raised. My family was poor. We lived in, actually I was born in the International District, or it was called Chinatown then, because Chinatown was full of black people and Asians representing Japanese, Chinese, and Filipino cultures. And then I went through a progression after that of going to housing projects. I went to some projects that are now gone out near the old Six Stadium in Rainier Valley. Then we went to Rainier Vista. And we moved into a kind of series of private housing that my parents bought up on Beacon Hill and Mount Baker. And so I went to school in Southeast Seattle schools for the most part. Ended up going to some of the elementary schools in the area, and then I went to Mercer because it just opened, and graduated from Franklin. And I got drafted when I was either 19 or 20 in the Army, and actually had a kind of a stressful segue into that because I didn't really want to go, didn't understand what it was all about, and kind of went through a period of rebellion, and then I kind of settled down a little bit. But in that process, I didn't have to go to Vietnam. But I think that was one of the beginnings, I could say, a second beginning of my political awareness. Because when I got out of high school, or before I got out of high school, I had been attracted to some of the stuff that people were doing in this area. They had a group called CORE, the Congress of Racial Equality. They had a chapter in Seattle, and they had their office on 23rd and Union. And they had a couple, the Valentines. I think he was a professor at the University of Washington. I can't remember what she did, but it was a mixed race couple. And they basically were trying to take their lead from some of the things that were going on in the South, and saying that those kind of things happen in the north, but not the same way. So I got involved in some demonstrations that they had downtown, actually demanding that the private sector hire more black people. Actually, ironically, I found a picture of me doing that at the Museum of History and Industry, not too far back. After I got out of the service in 1967, I came back to Seattle and kind of drifted around, ended up just accidentally kind of getting in college because I got discovered by a white professor who thought he read some of my writing, thought I should be in school, and kind of hooked me up. So I started school in probably 1968.